Today on Garbage Time Fantasy Football, we got Week 7 recap. It's time for Garbage Time. Welcome into Garbage Time Fantasy Football. I am your host, Ron Seymour, joined today by JJ LaPlante. How you doing today, bud?
Good. A little under the weather, but we're going to soldier through this while Joe is off on his little Halloween vacation.
Oh, yeah. Just want to, throw my thanks out to the three of you guys for holding down the fort while I was a part of Bipocalypse last week.
Yeah.
All right. Like I said at the top, we've got Week 7 recap today, but first we will get into a little bit of news that we have.
News updates.
News update. All right, so in the news, we don't got a whole lot. Biggest piece is Devontae Adams was placed on the reserve COVID list. I think he was just a exposure. I don't think he tested positive or anything, but it does not sound like he's going to be ready for Thursday's game, which is horrible.
For some.
Unless you're a Bears fan. I have him in 2 leagues, and he's just been, so very good. Hasn't been like phenomenally great or anything most weeks.
Well,
he's also not giving you bad games. He's never losing you the week. And it's just nice to have that type of person on your team.
It is. What's he? Wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2? Probably 2 or 3.
He's in the top 5 for sure, but I know like Cooper Cupp is up there, and some guys that have just been playing outside of their minds. Other news, well, we'll do this injury first. Zach Wilson, quarterback for the New York Jets, is going to be out 2 to 4 weeks with a strained PCL. Doesn't matter.
Sorry,
he
Joe.
wasn't playing that great. So the Jets went out and traded for Joe Flacco from the Eagles.
They sure did.
They sure did. So how do you feel about the wide receivers' fantasy values after this?
I don't know. I don't think it's devastated. Really, you're probably only starting like Corey Davis. Elijah Moore hasn't really panned out like some thought he would, and Crowder. So really, probably the only pass catcher you're starting for the Jets is Corey Davis. So I don't think his stock is really lowered or raised that much. I don't know. What do you think?
I will say this. Joe Flacco is not afraid to throw the ball downfield. You know what I mean? So, like, the average depth of target for these wide receivers could go up.
It could. Zach's got a good arm, and he throws it a little bit. But, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think they'll skip that much of a beat. He'll probably take, like, a week to get acclimated. But who do they – I think they play someone tough next week. I can't remember who they play.
It's the Jets. Everyone's tough to them.
Who do the Jets play next week? The Jets play – the Bengals next week.
Oh, yeah.
So
Bengals,
AFC
man.
number 1 seed.
That's right. That's crazy. Who would have guessed that? We'll get into some shocking games on this recap.
Yep.
Couple more injuries. Josh Jacobs has a chest injury. They're going into their bye week, and everything I've heard has said he'll be back. He'll be back after that, so I don't think there's anyone there. Oh, we've already got comments pouring in here. If just 2 people on my team, just 2 got 2 points, I would probably win.
I have been there, my friend.
I'm winning by 5, and the guy I'm playing has Jason Myers. Oh, man. I hate those days.
Yeah.
We're rooting for you. We are rooting for you, Sua Elias. I hope I pronounced your name right. make sure you are subscribed, and thank you for being part of the show. Other injuries, Miles Sanders. Have you heard what his injury was yet?
He got carted off, but all the x-rays were negative, so it looks like just an ankle sprain. So he'll be out probably a few weeks.
I think the hot waiver wire will probably be Kenneth Gainwell, but I said that kind of weird. Yeah, I know. Kenneth Gainwell.
You said Kenneth.
My mind went too fast for my mouth. Or vice versa. I don't know which one's which.
I think you reversed Gainwell too. You said Kenneth Gainwell.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Garbage time. I think you should look at Boston Scott though. When Miles Sanders went down, Boston Scott was the one that stepped into Miles Sanders' role.
Yes, he did. And he stole a touchdown too.
Yeah. I don't know if that is just because the injury just happened. Maybe they'll game plan it for Kenneth Gainwell. But oh yeah, they play the Lions. Yeah, you could probably start both of them, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Was there one more injury, or did I get them all?
Did you talk Josh Jacobs?
I did talk Josh Jacobs.
Yep, I think we got him. Right. Zach Wilson, Miles Sanders is the big three.
I think that's most of the news. Trade deadline is November 2nd, so throughout this week / early next week, we will probably hear a lot of, well, probably not a lot, but I'm guessing we'll get one or two good big name trades. Maybe even Brandon Ayuk.
I don't know. Maybe.
He's still a young guy. All right, let's go ahead and get into our week recap.
Yeah. While Joe's on vacation, I'm going to change that. Stupid cutscene and delete it off StreamYard.
Just delete it.
And never allow it to be played anywhere on the internet.
I'm pretty sure Joe has it in his email somewhere because he emailed it to me.
My word.
So that is the Screaming Week recap. We will start. First one on my list is New York Giants versus Carolina. I thought the Giants could win this game. I in no means thought they were going to win it 25-3. Sam Darnold got benched in this game.
Yeah. So last episode, Joe and I were talking about Darnold pretty in depth, and I thought he could be a viable streamer because he had a shitty game last week. So I was like, he's playing back at MetLife, he knows the field, he'll have a decent game, and he just looked absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, the Giants' defense has not been playing as good as it did last year. They're not the worst by far, but they're not anything you really need to be afraid about come. No, it's not a new transition.
It's newer. It's newer. 2 weeks old.
No, we've had it for more than that.
I don't know. I guess I just try and block it out every time it happens.
And yes, I've been reading them. Keep this. Edward Davis says keep the sound bite. People do seem to like it, just not me and you.
Give it to Joe. I'm a Scary Movie fan like him too, but he's to the extreme. So,
all right. More on the Giants, Carolina. DJ Moore's game wasn't great. The Giants, the whole Carolina offense just didn't look great this week. And I mean, even though they've lost the past couple games, their offensive players still have been all right for fantasy. DJ Moore has always looked good. Chuba Hubbard's been putting up good games. But no one. The Giants defense just took them right down yesterday, which I'm even shocked about being a Giants fan. Like, I thought they would win, but I thought it'd be a lot closer than this. Start Antonio Brown next week or DJ Moore if Brown plays.
DJ Moore or Rondale?
I'm gonna assume DJ.
Yeah, we're
is it
talking about DJ. It's probably DJ.
Yeah. Either way, the answer is Antonio Brown, I think. Maybe DJ Moore, but I don't know. Antonio.
He's coming off a sprained ankle.
Who's going to be the quarterback, for the Carolina Panthers? Who's going to be?
Play the Falcons next week, too, so that's...
Who's the Bucks play? Not that really matters.
They play the Saints in New Orleans. I'd probably play DJ Moore personally, but I can see why you'd want to play Antonio Brown. He's been great.
My only thing with Antonio Brown is, they're playing the Saints. The Saints' pass defense has looked all right this year, but they're going to have to be focusing on Evans and Godwin and Brown. And, if Gronk is back, maybe Gronk. I just think that it'll open up the opportunity. I think I would take, I think it's more, I'm choosing Tom Brady over either Sam Darnold or PJ Walker, I guess, is where I'm going with it.
Brady also will be watching the Saints tonight, as he's going to be one of the guests on the Manning Brothers Monday Night Football show. So he'll be on there scouting out the Saints. So I'm sure
that's on ESPN. What Plus? ESPN Plus.
Yep.
All right. Giants wide receiver core came in very banged up. They got Darius Slayton back. They elevated Dante Pettis, who had a very decent game. I know some people were saying start him in need because of the Bipocalypse. I actually picked him up and started him in a league, and he helped me out. All right. What else do we think? How fantasy outlook going forward, I guess, for these two teams?
I don't know. Panthers were instantly mentioned in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes after the game. So Darnold's playing for his life right now. He's got a contract he's playing for, and he's got to play better. He's got a good matchup.
A career he's playing for right now.
He's got the Falcons next week before he has to play the Patriots defense. So hopefully he can straighten it out. It's like a coin toss with him going forward.
For the New York Giants, hopefully Kadarius Toney can come back. He's going to be a difference maker for this team. Maybe one day in the next couple seasons, maybe actually we can have all of our offensive weapons on the field at the same time. It'd be amazing.
Wouldn't it?
Maybe one of these days. I doubt it'll ever happen. It's been like 3 or 4 years that we've just never had all of our offensive pieces out at the same time. All right, we'll move on to one of the blowouts of the week. New England versus New York Jets. Sorry, Joe. Your team looked trash this week.
And the week before. And the week before that, too.
Wait, how many weeks ago was it when they won?
I guess that was 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. They had a bye.
Patriots just said, no, we own you. You are not a real football team. That's what the Patriots said.
Yeah, that was the series. They had already played them once, and the final score in that series on the season was the Patriots 79, the Jets 19. So,
yeah,
ouch.
Yeah. Play your fantasy running backs against the New York Jets.
Yes.
Even the second strings, most likely. Because everybody the running backs just feast.
Yeah, Mixon's going to eat next week.
What's a good waiver wire tight end? I don't know. Is Zach Ertz, if he still happens to be there? I know that one's getting a little bit more unlikely. Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. The Bipocalypse could have made some people have to drop people in a tough spot. If someone dropped Dalton Schultz or something, definitely jump on that. Other than that, it's pretty dry out there. I know Robert Tonyan had a good game, so you'll probably see him get added. He's been on and off rosters all season, so you'll see some movement with him.
If you want to do a sneaky pick, it won't help you this week, but you could check out Foster Moreau for the Raiders. That's Darren Waller's backup. His ankle injury was late in this week, so who knows if he'll be ready in 2 weeks, but you could stash him possibly if you have the room. What? All right. Here's what I want to talk about. CJ Uzama for the Bengals. He's had 2 good weeks in a row now. And this offense has been playing great. So he could he could have a good week.
Yeah,
He
he's.
seems
I
to be
mean,
very
if
involved.
he's out there, he's going to get added in leagues. His ownership's going to go way up this week.
Yeah,
for sure.
so Uzama would probably be the best one. Uzama and Ertz if they're there. All right. We already talked about the Jets a bit, their fantasy value going forward with Joe Flacco. The Patriots don't go crazy. I understand they just put up 54 points. This was the New York Jets. You gotta be cautious. They have not looked. New England's offense has not looked superb like this any other time this season. Like,
Yeah,
Damien Harris is a good play. Brandon Bolden makes me mad because I picked him up 2 weeks ago because this was the role he was supposed to have. Didn't do anything for 2 weeks, so I finally dropped him right before this Sunday, and then he has the game he has.
Mm-hmm.
But again, New York Jets, so it's kind of hard. Caution is what I preach with the New England Patriots offense.
Yeah, it's a week by week thing, matchup
Yeah.
dependent.
Yep. Moving on, is by-handedly the single most astounding game of the weekend. And that was Tennessee at Kansas City.
Yeah.
I would have bet all the monies that Kansas City would not scored a touchdown. Like, what is going on with them?
Well, I've had a couple people ask me that, and all I can say is since 2018, they're one of the most dominant offenses in the league with 2 superstar pass catchers, and I think the scouting report's kind of out on them. You don't blitz them, you rush. This is from Dan Orlovsky, but you rush 4, and then you play good coverage and double team Hill. That just the blueprint is out there to stop that offense right now. So
okay, but normal teams though, when they do this on you, you just switch to the run game. And is their run game just really that bad that they can't do that?
Their line, for all the hype it got in the offseason and the trades they made and the big money they spent in free agency, it has not played good. And Mahomes has been under pressure all year. So teams are getting home, not bringing any blitzers. And when you do that, I can tell you as a Bears fan, it's not good. I've seen it for years.
All right. What about Tennessee, man?
Coming on.
Knocking off the Bills last week and the Chiefs this week?
Yeah, they've really come to life. We saw them get off that slow start in the first quarter of the season, and then they've just kind of been rolling now. Tannehill's getting more acclimated with the new offensive coordinator, I think, and Henry's continuing to get 30 carries a game. So
Derrick Henry, man. Derrick Henry.
Throwing in a touchdown.
Yeah, that I laughed so hard.
Me too.
Wasn't that the only touchdown he had too? I don't think he got a rushing.
Yeah, he didn't run one, and he just threw the one in. He had more passing touchdowns than Patrick Mahomes.
That's all right. The Jets' backup quarterback had more fantasy points than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Going forward, you start all your major players in these 2 teams.
Yep, 100%. A.J. Brown finally had his coming out game. I got frustrated with him in our league, and I traded him away. And then I played against him this week, and he went for 133 and a touchdown. So
yeah, not one of your best moves.
Yeah, it's all right. I got a quarterback out of it.
Edward Davis says Mahomes has been careless with the ball, all the skills in the world, but if you make bad reads, you're going to lose. He's not wrong.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just the pressure. Like Tom Brady has the best offensive line in football. He can sit back there for half an hour and find wide open guys. Mahomes is under pressure, and he's trying to do way too much to make all these crazy throws.
Yeah.
He's turning it over. That's what happens.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right. Moving on, we got Green Bay and Washington.
Yeah.
this game kind of went as I expected. Washington I feel like has been on decline for the past 3 weeks or so, 3-4 weeks.
Yep.
Antonio Gibson is banged up. He's playing through injury. I'm waiting for them to just sit him for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's a dangerous situation. At any time, they could just make the decision to put him on IR, and with every loss and the further they get out of it, it's more and more appealing to the team, I'm sure.
Do you think maybe try trading him away?
Yeah, I think I don't. Maybe I mentioned it on the last episode, but I would be definitely looking for a contingency plan for Antonio Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Green Bay. Let's talk about Green Bay real quick because this upcoming week, I know it's a recap, but let's get a jump on this. Davante Adams most likely not going to be there on Thursday. Who are the pass catchers that people need to be looking at?
Lazard. He kind of had been dead the first quarter of the season, and then last week versus the Bears, he scored, and he had 6 targets in this game to Adams 7. So he's kind of come along as a number 2 now, with Cobb kind of fading back out. And I just want to give a shout out to Joe for our bet, Jonathan Taylor versus Aaron Jones. With every week, I gain confidence in the bet, as Jones had another terrible week.
Well, they didn't really need him, to be fair.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird game.
I do think this increases Robert Tonyan's value. So Sua, I know you were asking about waiver wire tight ends. He might actually be out there. I would check. He could soak up a lot of targets with this Davante Adams news.
Yep.
Washington's outlook going forward. Who do you trust the most on the team?
Obviously Terry McLaurin. Another name to keep an eye on, just their health for as far as waiver wire tight ends, is Logan Thomas. I'm not sure quite where he's at with this comeback from his injury, but I've seen him dropped in a lot of leagues, and clearly Heineke loves throwing to the tight end. Ricky Seals-Jones has been a great tight end pickup if you've had to add one. He's consistently got target and work every week. He had 7 targets. He had 6 catches for 51 yards, 11 points in a PPR league is great from a tight end, especially this year.
If you have an IR and Logan Thomas got dropped, maybe someone had someone else go on IR that was more important to him, and you have an open IR spot, pick up Logan Thomas and stash him. All right, moving on to the next game. Atlanta and Miami. This was a wild one. Tua looked pretty good.
Yeah, he had a big game.
Too bad he's going to get benched for Jacoby Brissett because he's just, not good at football.
He's not going to get benched for Jacoby Brissett.
He might get benched for Deshaun Watson. But
right. He's going to get traded, but he's not going to get benched for Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, Joe was all on the board that, halfway through this year, he was going to get benched for Jacoby Brissett. What an idiot. No, he looked good. 4 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts had another amazing game. Finished with 170 yards or something.
7 for 163.
Yeah, just massive. He's good at football.
Yeah, he's well on his way to 1,000 yards now, and he's coming after that rookie tight end record.
And I think Matt Ryan is finally got that mind meld,
Yeah, they found a way to get him the ball.
Yeah. Calvin Ridley saved his week with a touchdown, but other than that, did not look good again. Glad I traded him away.
Yeah, it's been one of the biggest fantasy disappointments of the year.
He's definitely been my biggest fantasy disappointment for the year.
He led with targets too. He had 10 targets. He just can't get it going.
I will say this though, another name to look at, Russell Gage. I was touting him in preseason, and then he came out, had 2 decent weeks, and then got injured and was out. And people just forgot about him. I went and picked him up in a couple leagues and played him. He had the touchdown. He had a really good game.
Yep. So yeah, he started really slow, and I think about everyone dropped him after he got hurt.
Yep. Even though he started slow, I think he's still in like PPR. He still got like 10 or 12 points the first 2 weeks. Like it was slow, but it wasn't killing you.
And you
But,
probably weren't starting him either way. If you drafted him, you got him pretty
Right.
late. He probably wasn't even in your lineup.
Right, and then he got hurt, so people just dropped him. I mean,
Yep.
that's a name to look forward to, especially if you think the game script is going to be heavy passing. And with the Atlanta Falcons, it almost always is.
Yep.
So that's a good pickup, I think. Fantasy outlook going forward for these two teams. Did I see Mike Davis limp off the field? Is he injured?
I'm not sure. He had 4 carries for 10 yards. So
I think I saw him limp off the field at one point, but I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything. So maybe it was just a tweak and he was fine. Cordero Patterson's a must play. He's looked phenomenal this year. It's amazing.
Had another decent game. Yeah. He had 14 points.
Miami, Mike Gesicki scored a touchdown, I believe. Who scored the other touchdowns? Do you know?
Mac Hollins, I know, scored one.
Yeah.
Isaiah Ford and Miles Gaskin caught the touchdowns. Unfortunately, Waddle didn't. I played a lot of Waddle in DFS.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I thought he would go off.
Touchdown would have. He had to hit 7 for 83, which is a good game. You just got to get in the end zone.
Yeah. So what's the outlook on Tua? Like, I know there's all these trade talks, but man, it seems like the kid can ball a little bit, but
he can. He's their defense has been such a disappointment that he's having to throw a lot. He can't run the ball. He's having to have crazy pass attempts every game. Tough matchup next week, though. He's got the Bills next week, so he could lay out a dud. But if people in your league drop him and you need a quarterback after the Bills, he has the Texans, the Ravens, whose defense has been absolutely atrocious, and then the Jets. So 3 really good matchups after he plays the Bills on Sunday. So
all right, yeah, keep an eye on that one. Maybe an early pickup if you know your quarterback's going on a bye after the next couple of weeks. Too bad it wasn't this week because my quarterback's on a bye.
Yeah.
Lamar, no.
Is Lamar your quarterback in every league?
No, not every league. No, I've got Kyler Murray in a couple. In my dynasty, I've got Kyler and Lamar, which is
I'm well aware, Ryan.
To be fair, though, I'm like 3 and 4 in that league. I'm not the powerhouse that everyone thought I was going to be.
Yeah, it's been weird.
Well, when Keenan Allen and Stephon Diggs really haven't been, and then I've been without Nick Chubb for the past 2 weeks too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on. We'll get to the second most surprising game. Cincinnati and Baltimore. I by no means guaranteed that the Ravens were going to win this game, but I did not think it'd be a 41-17 final.
Yeah.
One of my biggest takeaways from this game, though, fantasy-wise, is Joe Mixon saved himself with a touchdown.
Yep.
Because he did not do much. They were more than happy to just pass that ball everywhere. And Jamar Chase is, a reason you can do that.
Yeah, kid's a stud, man.
And I guess the big question of the day is Jamar Chase the best rookie fantasy wide receiver there is? Or has been, I suppose.
So far.
Yeah.
The most receiving yards by a rookie through the first 7 games in NFL history. He's outdoing what Jefferson did last year by a long shot so far. Yeah. He's on pace for crazy numbers if you do the Joe math on that.
If you do the Joe math. I love the Joe math. That's my new favorite. I think we need a drop for the Joe math. So anytime Joe tries to pull out some of those stats, we can just hit the drop. Joe math.
I got some ideas for that.
All right, cool. That's what I like to hear. Cincinnati. This team looks good.
How did the Bears beat this team?
I don't know. How do the Bears ever beat anybody? They get lucky. They beat the Buccaneers last year. Like, how? Like,
that was the last game the Buccaneers lost versus the Bears.
You mean one?
No, I mean, like last year when the Bears beat the Buccaneers, I think that's the last time the Buccaneers lost a game.
Oh. They're like, all right, we're not letting that happen again.
I sure didn't.
Oh man. Jamar Chase, just phenomenal. Go trade for him. I bet you don't get him.
No.
T. Higgins looked all right, but it almost seems like it's Jamar Chase and then CJ Uzama over the past couple of weeks. Like
Higgins had 15 targets. It's crazy.
yeah, I mean he threw Joe Burrow threw the ball a lot. I think it was something like 42 attempts or something like that.
38.
38. That was close. All right, Baltimore side. Rashad Bateman's looked all right.
He has. He's been impressive.
He's been good. Mark Andrews getting involved. I mean, this offense in the first half looked like it was going to be good. It looked like it was going to be a really good game all the way through, and then it just kind of sputtered. It sputtered at the end. But Lamar Jackson showed why he's a must start every week in fantasy because 88 rushing yards. 12 more, and he would have got me the rushing bonus. Man, so close. Yeah, Hollywood Brown. I mean,
consistent, another good game.
Both these teams, you start your pieces. They're both offensively playing decent football.
Yep.
I don't think the Bengals offense is going to look as good as it has this week, every game. Next week. The thing with the Jets is
get up big fast.
Unless you're the New England Patriots, who I think just wanted to show dominance in that one. I think, a lot of people just run the ball on them a lot because you can. So I'm really hoping Joe Mixon in theory should be a smash play next week. He should finish as the running back one.
Yes.
Should.
Yes.
We'll see what actually happens though. Like I said, going forward with these two teams, you start everybody. Next, any Baltimore running backs to watch? Are they all too inconsistent at this point? Yes.
Yeah, unless you're in an emergency, I wouldn't touch them.
I think Baltimore should go get Marlon Mack.
They should do something because
they need to do something that's not hire someone that's 90 years old.
Their stable of average is just not getting it done right now.
Pretty much with their running backs, you start one and hope they get a touchdown if you're in desperation.
When Latavius Murray comes back, he's probably viable. But other than that, I wouldn't touch Freeman. I wouldn't touch Tyson Williams or Bell. I just don't look very good.
Yeah. Moving on, we got the Detroit Lions and the LA Rams. Man, the Lions are a fun team to watch.
They came out scrappy.
Yeah, they are one scrappy team. Like, I know they don't have the best team right now, but what they do, 2 fake punts, an onside kick right after marching down and scoring. Like, you got talk about tight ends. You got to give them credit where credit's due. They will not go quietly. They are going to fight.
They sure are. Yeah, I knew they in the beginning. It was I mean they're in the Bears division, so I don't I'm not ever pulling for them. But they are fun to watch. They're fun to watch, and I feel bad for Jared Goff a little bit, so I kind of pull for him quietly. But other than that, it's the expected outcome in this one.
Yeah, definitely the expected. I mean, it was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. 28-19? Like, the Lions made it a game.
They kept the Rams uncomfortable.
DeAndre Swift, he's going to be a good fantasy running back for a few years.
Sure is.
My big thing is Darrell Henderson. We're going to go into the future with this one because Cam Akers should be back next year, and they were all ready to give Cam Akers the whole carry load. So what's going to happen with Darrell Henderson? Do you think he gets traded in the offseason if Cam Akers looks like he's coming back? Or do they try to keep him for insurance?
I'm sure Henderson they'll probably keep. He's very disappointing. He never has. I was talking to my dad about this last night, actually, and he's like, that guy has no ceiling. Like he's always like 80 yards and a touchdown and a couple catches. He never has that monster Derrick Henry or Jonathan Taylor type game. It just never happens. So
Yeah,
he's a viable
I'll take
RB2,
80
but
yards and a touchdown every week from a running back. All right.
yeah,
After you draft Christian McCaffrey and Saquon Barkley, like you're just praying for those 80 yards and a touchdown.
yeah. No, this was I played him everywhere in DFS this week. It was a really disappointing week for Henderson.
Yeah. Where was I going? Oh, Cooper Cupp. Cooper Cupp.
Can't be stopped.
He just run his routes. He's one of those guys that's just open somehow. Like there's 3 people guarding him and they're all running the wrong way somehow.
Unreal.
Man, he is good at football. Robert Woods has been getting more involved. And what I think is funny is Robert Woods is getting more involved, and yet Cooper Cupp is still putting up monstrous games. Like, it doesn't seem like they took any work from Cooper Cupp. They just got more work for Robert Woods somehow.
Yeah. They stopped. Well, Van Jefferson's volume's gone down, and Higbee's been kind of a disappointment because Cupp gets so much.
The Hig beast is dying, man.
Well, he had 5 catches, and he doesn't get into the end zone enough. He's only got 2 touchdowns on the year.
It's getting to be one of those points where there's almost too many weapons for fantasy. I mean, if you don't got Cooper Cupp, it's hard.
Yeah.
Everything else is just you're hoping for a decent game.
Yeah, Stafford and Cupp are the big 2 on this one. So, yeah, Woods kind of, 6 for 70 is okay, but it was extremely efficient. He caught every pass and didn't get in. But Cupp doubled him up in targets again.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, what do you think about I don't know if you saw any of the game, but Khalif Raymond, he had 6 for 115.
Hold on, because this is funny. I'm sorry to laugh, but it's funny.
Stafford and Cupp defeated my fantasy team and my Lions this week. Fuck those dudes. Oh, you're a Lions fan, Edward, you poor bastard. No wonder you listen to us.
I mean, we were just talking a lot of good things about the Lions. They're scrappy. I like their coach,
Dan Campbell. He's very entertaining.
And maybe that's what they need to elevate this team.
Yeah, I hate all the teams. 3 years, maybe. I hate all the teams in the NFC North, but I'll tell you what, I would much, much, much rather have the Lions up there than the Vikings or the Packers. So
yeah, switch it up a little bit. Lions have been in the basement far too long.
Yeah.
Fantasy outlook moving forward, you could definitely start DeAndre Swift. What about the Lions? Oh, you were just talking about Khalif Raymond.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably going to be hit or miss. Maybe Edward knows how good he's going to be going forward. But, he's a talented kid. He's pretty fast. I see him run out of the slot a lot. So, small guy, but capable receiver so far.
Yep. Maybe on the waiver wire short when we do that.
Perhaps.
Yeah, the Rams, you start everybody. The Lions, definitely DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I could say definitely TJ Hawkinson anymore.
Yeah, I was just going to touch on that. We were talking about Higbee being a disappointment, but Hawkinson has died since the beginning of the season. So, tight end just sucks.
Oh, man, I just pulled something up on my computer. Oh, I fixed it. All right, moving on. The Raiders versus Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts did that thing where he doesn't do anything for 3 quarters and then turns it into a decent fantasy day at the 4th quarter.
And what time of the game does he do that in?
In garbage time. He's the perfect quarterback for us.
Should be our poster boy.
Please no. Joe. I hate that Joe's been right about him so far because I've also been right that he's a shit quarterback. And I don't think there's anything worse than knowing that I'm right, but Joe's not wrong.
He's like what was the year of 2015 Blake Bortles, where they were down like 30 points every fourth quarter and he just
Right.
would throw it 50 times a game?
Yeah.
Except Hurts can run.
Just so annoying.
Yeah, just something that's definitely something to keep an eye on though, guys. The Eagles traded away Joe Flacco, so they instantly bumped Gardner Minshew up on the depth chart. So you see Hurts miss some throws, and if they get whooped again, I would not be surprised if the Eagles tried to shake some stuff up and give Minshew a try to see how it looks.
Hurts is definitely not the quarterback next year, right? They've got all the draft capital. Like,
yeah, I don't think so. But the draft class for quarterback sucks next year. It's really bad, really bad.
So, that's what I want to hear being a Giants fan. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't know.
I could say we could have had Fields, but that doesn't look like that would have been
We'll get to
either.
that, all right? We'll get to that.
Oh, man. Derek Carr is still playing great football. Henry Ruggs, I mean, been playing decent. Brian Edwards, not bad. Foster Moreau, and because Darren Waller was out, he played well. Is this team legit?
I don't know. Bears beat them too somehow. They beat 5-2 teams.
Look, we already discussed the Bears.
I'm using it as a platform that the Bears suck and they beat these teams. So if you're asking if they're legit, I don't know yet.
Nothing they do makes sense though.
Yeah.
Like they shouldn't beat these teams. Honestly, I feel like the Bears should probably be 0-7 or whatever it should be.
No, let's not get carried away there, but they played the Lions, all right? Sorry, Edward.
Oh, okay. 1-6. Sorry, Edward.
Hey, I kind of wish they were, so Nagy was gone. And you're cheering against them for sure.
That's all I'm saying to that one is stop it.
Can't expect a lot from the Jersey Giants.
That's just rude. The Raiders, I mean, you have to start these wide receivers, right?
Well, I think I can't remember if it was Edward or not, but someone was in here asking about Tim Patrick versus Hunter Renfrow on Thursday. And we said Renfrow, he's just like Joe described him, safe play.
Very safe,
you can fill him in. He's going to score 11 to 13 or 14 points a week. So, I mean, he's viable. Edwards, he had the touchdown, but he only had 4 targets, so he's going to be hit or miss. And then, obviously, I think Ruggs is a viable flex play, but he didn't have a good game this week. He didn't have his long catch.
All right, Philadelphia, the only person you really want to start is Jalen Hurts and Dallas Goedert, or Godert, as we say in the show. Next week, though, they are playing – who are they playing next week?
The Eagles? They play the Lions.
Right. I'm calling it now. The Lions are winning. I'm calling it now.
Damn.
That's for Edward. The Lions are going to beat the Eagles.
You heard it here first, folks.
I'm calling it. I'll put it in our pick'em thing.
I'm gonna put this on our. We got a new Twitter page, guys. Follow us at garbage_time_ff on Twitter. I'll put this sample clip up there. Lions. Oh yeah. Ron says the Lions are winning.
Lions are winning. I feel it. I feel it. Start the Eagles DST. You're not making me feel better about it there, Edward.
Oh wow, what a call.
All right. Moving on. Arizona and Houston. 31-5. I bet you can't guess who won. Houston did not look good.
Oh. Another piece of news.
Back, though.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Another piece of news we maybe could have touched on is I completely forgot about it. I think he's back at practice, right?
Yeah.
So maybe I know the offense looked good when he played, so maybe it picks back up.
Game. I mean, they did play the Jaguars though. So
the Jaguars are a powerhouse.
Oh yeah, they won their first game last week. Yeah, Arizona just offensive juggernaut.
Hopefully they keep it up Thursday night.
Hopefully, Kyler Murray. I mean, he took a couple big hits in this game.
Yeah, he took some shots.
Yeah. And I know the last time he started getting injured is when that offense started struggling down the stretch last year.
A little bit. I think he's all right.
He's all right, but I'm worried about it because he hurt his shoulder. No, not his shoulder. Something last year.
Last year was his shoulder, yeah.
Was it his throwing shoulder, though? Or was it
I think
not?
so, yeah.
Oh, all right. That makes a little bit more sense. You start, man, just about everybody on that team, right? Wide receiver-wise?
Kurt? I mean, they're all hit or miss. Yeah, the yards is Ertz 66, Green 66, Hopkins 53, Kirk 50, and Moore 17. So it was spread all over the place. He's throwing to whoever's open.
Yeah, I mean, it's very good football he's playing. Horrible for fantasy.
Yes.
But you got to have him in there for the touchdowns. Yep. Like, because any week it could be that guy that gets the touchdown.
I thought Hopkins would have a bigger game versus the Texans. I thought they'd force the issue a little bit more. But
they did the smart thing.
Yep. Played to
win. Houston, Brandon Cooks had a down game, 5 for 21, which I don't even know how is possible. But I think you still have to start him. With Tyrod coming back, hopefully it's better. Brandon Cooks is a good wide receiver. He's shown it with every quarterback he's played with. Even with Davis Mills, he's had good games.
Yep.
I think this was just, they went up against one of the best defenses in football right now, this Cardinal defense, and it just showed. They didn't do very much.
They did not.
They scored 5 points, but 2 of those were off a safety where it was, what is it called? Not an illegal pass downfield, but intentional grounding in the end zone. So they shouldn't have had 5. All right, moving on. JJ's favorite game of the week, Tampa Bay at Chicago. Tampa Bay won 38-3. I'm not trying to pile on to your heartbreak or anything.
No, I've embraced the pain.
But doesn't Tampa Bay have like one of the worst pass defenses in the league, and Justin Fields couldn't get it done?
But when you have the worst offensive line in the league, and you get blindsided, blown up 3 times in the first 2 drives, and balls going off the receiver's hands, and just kid couldn't catch a break, got blown up. He's gonna get killed. They got a 40-year-old left tackle that was out on a boat in Texas fishing a couple months ago, and they have their 5th string right tackle in.
Oh man,
it's just a bad situation. Don't start Bears players. You can start whoever the running back is. Like Khalil Herbert looks good. Allen Robinson is literally not trying. He's running routes at like 50%. He's not blocking. He just doesn't want to be there, and clearly just is loafing around on the field.
Any chance he gets traded?
I hope so, honestly. But I think there is a chance. But I don't know what they can get for him.
I mean, because Darnell Mooney has looked good.
Yeah, he's looked good. He's probably not a true one wide receiver, but he's got decent chemistry with Fields, and for what they're doing right now, it's not like it's a huge loss to lose Allen Robinson. So
at this point,
you can't play him. You just can't.
What's their record right now?
3-4.
Good. Keep those wins down. I need better picks for the Giants. Oh, that's right. You don't even have a first round this week or this year.
Second round pick, yeah. So, yeah. But the worst record, also, like I said earlier, I'll bring up Nagy. I want him to get fired. So
that's true. That's true. Then he'll probably go. Maybe he'll go to the Jets.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay looks phenomenal on offense.
100%.
Edward says, "JJ, let's be real. Fields is not your guy."
No, he is. He's we don't know yet. You gotta see him.
I'm sick of people giving quarterbacks 1 year, and I'm not talking about like fans. I'm talking about like actual NFL people. They bring these people in and they don't build around their team. Like they don't have a team built around them. So instead of building a team around them and then bringing in a good quarterback, they're worried about the quarterback. And I understand like you need the quarterback to win games, but Giants won a lot of Super Bowls with Eli Manning. Eli Manning was a decently good quarterback. I'm not saying he wasn't, but we won those Super Bowls off of outstanding offensive line, a very good defense, and good run game.
Ball control. Yep.
And then we had
pass catchers that were just dangerous enough.
Yep. And Eli Manning was accurate. Like, that's all he needed to be. So
Fields is accurate. You can throw it downfield. It just you can't. I don't care who you are when you're under pressure. Look what happened to Rodgers in the NFC Championship game last year when he got Tampa all that pressure.
Or Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
And Mahomes this week.
And Mahomes this week.
You don't have time to throw. You can't do anything.
Yeah. All right. We won't put you through any more stress. Start all your Tampa Bay players against pretty much anybody. Leonard Fournette. They finally have a bell cow running back, and he's a safe start every week. And then you're going to have to take the reins on this last night game because I did not watch it. San Francisco and Indianapolis. Indianapolis won 30-18. Was it really that much of a thing, or was it closer and then Indy just scored at the end too?
It was a competitive game throughout. The weather was just a huge factor. There were fumbles all over the place, drop balls. It was pouring rain in San Francisco. So
I heard it was supposed to be windy too.
Yeah, so all the numbers were down. Both running backs rushed for over 100 yards. They actually both had 18 carries for 107 yards and a touchdown. It was kind of weird.
That's funny. Who was the running back for the 49ers? Mitchell?
Mitchell got all the work. He had like 70 yards on the first 70 yards and a touchdown on the first drive.
And then they shut him down after that?
A little bit, and then they threw a little more. Garoppolo had a bad game. He had ball slip out of his hand, terrible interception. But Deebo Samuel had a good game, caught some deep balls, and Pittman caught a real deep one and ended up with a good stat line.
Is Deebo top 10 for fantasy wide receivers this year? He's had a couple
for sure.
monster games, right?
100%. Yeah, he's fourth in receiving yards.
Wow.
In the year, and he's had his bye week already.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
So
I have him in our auction league.
What, for a couple bucks?
Yeah, I didn't pay much for him. And he might be one of my better keepers since I've jettisoned just about everybody off the team that I drafted.
Yeah, I've done that too.
Well, we're playing in the basement. We're trying to make moves, you know.
Gotta get scrappy like the Lions.
Get back into this stuff. Trey Sermon seems like a drop candidate now.
Yeah, drop him.
Hasty
and Mitchell were both in for him. I don't think Sermon even stepped foot on the field, to be honest.
Ayuk, drop him. I'm done playing that game.
One target.
Well, I would wait. Wait until after November 2nd, see if he gets traded.
See, I don't think they're going to trade him because they spent a first-round pick on him.
He's still young, but crazier things have happened. So I would consider waiting to see if he gets traded, or wait to see if any trade things happen. Oh, jeez, Joe, shut up. Jonathan Taylor has had 3-4 really good weeks in a row now.
Yep, that's right, Joe. Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor over Aaron Jones.
He's second on the NFL in rushing.
Did Joe even have Jonathan Taylor in his top 10? I don't think he did.
I don't believe so.
Man, I guess we know who's the worst at stats on this show.
Joe, we got some surprises coming for you this week. Some new drops.
And that was it. That was Sunday night's game.
Was it?
Tonight's game is just about to start.
Kicked off. We're underway.
See, here's what I hate. All right, the NFL makes me very angry. Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday night. Why can't all these games start at the same time? Every single one of them has a different kickoff time.
I thought they were all like 7:20 Central or 8:20.
No. There's an 8:15, an 8:20, and I want to say either an 8:30 or an 8:25.
It was Thursday night, 8:30. Thursday is 7:20. Sunday night is 7:20. Monday night is 7:15.
So only two of them are different. Or one of them's different.
Yes. Just Monday night, 7:15.
Joe, don't come into the chat at the end of the show and start asking questions about shit we've already talked about. Especially who's tight end Oza? No one knows who Oza is. It's CJ Uzama.
We're about to be Aza here.
We're about to be Aza here. I give it a 4.
Yeah, really bad.
All right, that's it for us today. I want to say thank you to all the people in the comments.
Yeah, it's awesome. Guys, like the video, please. It makes a difference for us.
Edward Davis is throwing some shade at us, and apparently he likes Ryan the best. It's probably because Ryan doesn't talk any. So, like, he's not giving any.
Ryan's just that mysterious guy who sits in his dark room and throws shade.
All right, make sure you go and subscribe to us on YouTube at Garbage Time Fantasy Football. We're now at Twitter at garbage_time FF. That's going to be a hard one to get off. Go to our website, www.garbagetimeff.com. You can see everywhere available: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, iTunes Radios. I always do that. iHeart Radios.
iTunes Radio.
Jesus. And there's a bunch of other ones that Joe will probably yell at me for forgetting. But if you go to our website, you'll be able to see them all there. So
and you can leave us voicemails. So you lovely people leave all these comments. You can actually physically talk and yell at us through voicemails on our website.
Yes,
so
we would love to have that. We'd love to have more of those. Make sure you subscribe at YouTube and like this video. Also, make sure you go over to Apple Podcasts, subscribe over there, leave us a review, please. It will really help our show. We would love to get this off the ground. You guys get us off the ground, we can make more content because we'll have more money.
I like money.
I like money. Money's fun. Money me now. I believe that is it. You got anything else, JJ?
I'm all set. We'll see you guys later in the week.
We
Enjoy the game tonight.